So officers kept on telling me the right way to turn this shit in, and I had to do what they wanted me to do. Because it's a matter of public opinion, and some Americans believe that if you don't do what a cop says, they have the right to shoot you. But then I also had to do what legally I needed to do to turn in my predators. The actual legal proceedings and procedures, which include showing that these officers fucking lied. Rick Reigenborn, after, well, a very long time of trying to turn in the situation with... Alright, so Detective Mark Hyatt and his partner Erica, as well as Detective Jai Rogers and Detective Mark Peterson. When it came to abuse against me, they did get to see that. They wanted to defer me, to have me tell it to a different officer in the morning. Miss Peaches wasn't going to help me with that. She'd already let me know that immediately. I was only allowed to stay there just for the night, and then I needed to leave. She claimed it's because her mother said that I can't stay there. She said I would be fine with it, but my mom, it's her place. She says you can't. Yeah. You've been renting the place forever with your mom not being there, and now it's her place. Weird. Maybe that's right. Maybe she was telling the truth about that. Maybe it was an excuse. The problem is, Miss Peaches was going to help me to turn this shit in. That's what I was specifically there for. To get help turning in the abuse by Ken Wilson and Leatha Plunkett and Dawn Bird. I couldn't do it alone. They'll just fucking gang up on me. Like they did in the fucking kitchen. All I could do is fucking take it. So Rick Reigenborn, right? After all this abuse that I've taken, after all of that, he pretends like he's going to take a look at the abuse. He's going to take a look at it. Now then he's also telling me, oh, well, this is later on. He's telling me, oh, well, we can't do anything about Jai Rogers and Detective Peterson because the statute of limitations is over. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. There is no statute of limitations for what they did to me. There literally is no statute of limitations for that anywhere in the country. When you literally attempt to have somebody murdered as a police officer by intentionally misleading the public and intentionally misleading the victim. See, here's the thing. Natalie was not my victim. I was hers. She has no idea what abuse really is. I would say her and her sister made up everything about their dad. But then again, her dad keeps showing that, well, he's their dad. He's going to get drunk, he's going to get fucked up on drugs, and he's going to want to fuck his daughters. He's going to feed them drugs so they'll put out because he's a fucking drug addict, and so are they. And of course, Alicia Bollinger, every single one of the crimes that she's committed against me, and the situation where she was obviously a part of the fucking felonies being committed by her dad across multiple states. With 18 grams of methamphetamines, no less. Threatening to throw children out of the car if the cops don't back off. And so on and so on and so on. Yeah, this was after Natalie's death. That same son of a bitch. See, this shit happened all over. When that situation happened, that was my birthday present for Alicia Bollinger in 2019. Right after that situation with Brett Roloff digging through his own shit. Digging through his own shit for meth. That's why I left Bristol, Virginia, and Brett Roloff's house. That fucked up shit every day, that shit, because they're addicted. I needed help. The only days that I could get anything done are the days that they left. It's the only time they weren't yelling or screaming or creating drama or too busy. So I got on a bus to get out of there and escape that meth shit. But you know what? Goddamn Bollingers can find a way to fuck my life up from a fucking distance. Ted Bollinger and Alicia Bollinger go on a fucking high-speed chase through Oklahoma and fucking Kansas City, end up getting in an accident outside of fucking... Wichita, wasn't it? So Alicia Bollinger doesn't get charged with anything. They're both fucking methed out of their goddamn gourds. Alicia Bollinger goes to the hospital and is released and given a fucking hotel room. They gave her the fucking royalty treatment. The royalty treatment. But they dropped her off in a fucking shitty neighborhood. A very shitty neighborhood. Like a shitty neighborhood where they find dead people all the fucking time. Kind of neighborhood. They put her in a fucking slum motel. And yeah, there might be a lot of nice people. There are usually nice people. Unfortunately, a lot of those nice people are used car salesmen. And she's a short, scrawny, pretty white girl. Yeah, what did I do? Bobby called me up, told me she was missing. I was in a fucking ice storm. Literally, you can type the words Alicia Bollinger is missing. And you can look at several videos. Bobby Forrest got a hold of me to tell me that Alicia Bollinger was missing. And every time I fucking spoke up, happy fucking birthday to me. My birthday is October 18th. That's when Alicia Bollinger and her dad pulled that shit. And when Alicia Bollinger fucking disappeared. On the 19th, I got to hear about it from Bobby Forrest. One of these people who had fucking been a threatening goddamn asshole and assumed my fucking guilt and assumed I was the fucking stalker and fucking wanted to type about it on Natalie's last fucking public post. The problem is that the police kept telling me it was always somebody else's job. Literally, it's always somebody else's job. And the infamous question, before they start fucking assaulting me or fucking breaking the law, well, don't you have any friends or family who can help you? No. No, I don't. I keep trying. They don't understand the simple concept of I am a disabled adult and that you assholes aren't going to take anything I say fucking seriously. But why would you? None of my friends did either, even knowing that I'm honest. A lot of people wanted to play victim after the fact. Fuck it. Fuck it. Going to Rick Reigenborn resulted in him giving the evidence that was given to him, and only a tiny bit of it, by the way. Evidence of what the Bollingers had been up to with his officers and how much harm it had caused and was still causing. He knew very specifically that I was trying to turn in his officers. And the stuff that I sent him in confidence for the investigation of those officers, he played retarded and gave it to those officers, Jai Rogers and Mark Peterson. You guys pretend that I'm crazy because I'm overwhelmed. You pretend that, like the video before this one with Alexander in it. Yeah, it's fucking recorded. It really happened. But I can't turn it in alone. I'm fucking scared shitless. Besides, what would I turn in? He wasn't trying to be mean to me. He wasn't trying to beat me up. He was just fucked up. Yeah, I say junkie, but you see how diplomatic I am? I try to be kind. You tell me, hey, Sean, be kind. Be kind. I am in person. You guys forgot who I am in person. You want to judge me for who I had to be when you looked the other way. Who I had to be to protect myself and to protect my loved ones. Because junkies don't know when to say fucking no. Junkies don't know when to fucking stop. Natalie Bollinger and Alicia Bollinger should have left me the fuck alone. The cops should have left me the fuck alone. These fucking child molesters and rapists should have left me the fuck alone. These religious goddamn nut jobs and these people from these web sleuth groups should have left me the fuck alone. And guess what? The difference between the situation that happened, where I don't get left the fuck alone, and the situation that should have happened where I did get left the fuck alone, all comes down to Natalie Bollinger and her fucking family in Virginia not wanting to act like fucking adults. Oh yeah, and they just kept it up. Sheriff Rick Reigenborn knew that I was trying to turn in the crimes that were committed against me. And he went out of his way to treat me like shit. And to do exactly what it is that he should not have done. Which is give those reports of the things that his officers did It wasn't just them, though, either. There's also the one that called me and coordinated with the Boulder Police Department to have me harmed. He had to coordinate very specifically with Danica Shell Garner. I was in correspondence with her. Cara Rogers had got me in connection with her, and she was going to try to help me, and she was going to help turn it in. Her and what's that cunt's name? Rochelle Shelley Campbell stayed in contact with me until each of them in turn got busted lying to me and playing victim. When I have to rely on lunatics like Layla Johnson for help, because the cops aren't going to do the right thing, and I don't have the ability to even take care of myself because of the felonies they committed. And I got to go to this Rick Reigenborn feller who completely, totally, and entirely dehumanized me and went out of his way to help my predators get away. This is why these interactions needed to be supervised. See, I called them up in each of these occasions to try to make a deal, so to speak. The deal is I'm trying to turn in evidence. The deal is I need someone there and present with me, and it does need to be recorded, and I do need to be allowed access to those recordings. Just because cops do it on camera doesn't mean anybody gives a shit. But the problem is, your public pretenders aren't supposed to be trying to con you into waiting in fucking jail or prison for months and months and months while they try to keep the body camera evidence out of court. And the longer they can tie it up, the better for those officers. And that's the thing about having friends that were fucking liars and took advantage of me. What's worse is they took advantage of me financially during crises and situations where I literally did not have the ability to afford to even feed myself. Rick Reigenborn was sending my evidence to the predators I was trying to turn in, knowing that those were the predators that I was trying to turn in. I'd say that whole no victim left behind shit, but we all know that disabled homeless men can't be victims in the United States because we're the people that America are taught to hate the most, even more than politicians and rapists and murderers.